All right. It's day 8 of the new year, and I need you to be honest with yourself. Are you still keeping the credit promises you made on January 1st, or are you slipping? Hmm? I'm not here to shame anyone, okay? I'm here because this is exactly what we need to do for this week because most credit repair goals fall apart within the first 6 weeks, okay? Not in December, not after you make a big mistakes, but actually right now. Most people actually give up on their New Year's resolution within the first week. And we want to make sure that day 8, you are not doing the same thing, right? So, because we know most people fail when they're doing credit repair, whether it's with a company or with someone else, because they may not understand what the process is, right? If they're doing it on their own, we wanted to make sure that you had the leverage and you had the tools to make sure that you do not fail, you do not stop, because small things become consistent and one change turns into 3. And we want to make sure that you're not charging it up, racking it up, or leaving it on the floor. Okay. So let me ask you this and answer honestly in the comments. Are you on track? Type on track if you are sticking to your credit commitments, or type slipping if it's already getting hard to you. All right. Now, this is going to get practical. I'm going to be answering some of the most frequently asked credit repair questions. And I'm making sure that we are diving in to all that you can get to make sure you are moving the needle forward and hitting your goals in real time. If you guys don't know who I am, I'm your girl, Raquel May David, and I have owned a wonderful credit repair company for over 21 years where I have helped thousands of people, over 5,000 people get into their dream house, over 7,000 people get the funding that they need. And I've also trained over 10,000 people in coming into the actual credit repair space. So I'm super duper excited to be talking to you on today and making sure that we are not just talking about it, we being about it. So if y'all are new to my page, make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, send it out to your people that need help when it comes to credit, and make sure that if you are looking for a safe space that tells you and supports you with the credit repair journey, you definitely want to check out my school community. It's Beast Mode DIY Academy. It is amazing. We have so many tools in there and so many challenges going on. And we reward you for consistency, not just for showing up. So if y'all are people that's going to show up, don't, this ain't, just go ahead. Okay. So we wanted to go ahead and make sure we answer some of the most frequently asked questions. I have it up here. These are people who've slid into my DMs. These are questions that I have gotten off of social media because people have literally dropped it every single solitary place. And I want to make sure that I come to you with the answers that you need. Okay. So, number one question that I got was, is it too late if I've already messed up in January for me to go ahead and hit my mark? The simplest answer is no. Credit does not reset by the calendar, it responds to consistency. So, one slip doesn't ruin the process, quitting does. Okay. All right. Now, what is the fastest way to improve my credit right now? I love this question. And I see this question all of the time where people is like, oh, I want my credit to be improved. I want my credit to improve. I want my credit to improve. I'm going to explain this as quickly as possible, but as detailed as possible. There are 5 components to the FICO score. Okay. 5 components: payment history, utilization, age, credit mix, and inquiries. Those are the 5 components that make up that wonderful 3-digit score. Okay. When you guys are saying, hey, I want to make as much impact fast as possible, my number one thing that I'm going to talk to you about is, number one, how many open and active credit cards or credit lines do you have? I'm going to tell you to focus on that. That is where we need to go ahead and pull our bank statements, credit card statements. We're going to pull our credit card statements and we are going to look, when are the statement dates about to close? You are now going to stop paying on the due date and you are now going to start paying 2 days before the statement date is about to close. Why is this so important? Utilization, which is the second heaviest portion of your FICO score, is calculated at 30% of your overall score. Utilization roughly translates to 165 points. So if you are trying to move the pendulum and you are over the limits, you are using too much credit, or you don't have a credit card, that is, my friend, where you want to go ahead and get the ball rolling. Okay. Right now, today, don't don't fall short. Pull it right now. Pull your statements right now. Okay. Now, when you start making that payment 2 days before the statement date is about to close, and you don't use the card again until the statement closes, you want to pay the balance down as low as possible. For best practices, the goal is for you to go ahead and pay your cards down and make sure your utilization is below 10%. However, if you do not have the ability to do that and you are at 50% or you are over 100%, if you are over 100%, you are going to pay the minimum payment times two plus $4. Say that again. Minimum payment times two plus $4. That will give you the breathing room that when your statement date closes and then the company adds the interest, you're not going to end up over your limit again. Okay. If you are at 50, above 50%, try to dump as much money on the actual account itself before the statement date closes, because a lot of the control that you have is making sure you're paying on time, which if you're paying by the statement date, you will be. Okay. And also making sure that you pay your balances down to the lowest possible number. That's how you're going to want to navigate to make sure that you are consistently consistent moving forward. You're not missing anything. And the next thing is that you're able to go ahead and lower what your outstanding balances are to give yourself the breathing room that you truly need. Okay. Next frequently asked question: should I close old credit cards? Absolutely not. Okay. You need, remember, we talked about the 5 components. Number 3 is age. It's worth 15%, which is roughly 82.5 points. If you are sitting there and when it comes to your cards, you paid the card off, but you close it. Now that age is going to be affected. Also, your utilization is going to be affected because now that available amount that you would have had sitting there saying, I didn't use it, you now don't have that. Okay. So we do not want to close anything. Now, if it is a baby card, like, you know how sometimes we have those milestones, so they're called second chance accounts, milestones, credit one, things of that nature. If you have a replacement of something that is the same age, I'm going to caution you guys. I'm team do not close. But if you're looking at your profile and you're like, hey, I have more than 10 years, even if I close this account, I'm in a good spot, go ahead and do what you got to do. But for me, my answer, I'm going to tell you most time than not, the answer is no, because you want to make sure that your age and available credit is A1. Emotional decisions can hurt your credit more than old accounts. Keep that in mind. All right. How long does credit repair really take? Oh, y'all, this be the question. Okay. Even when I do my calls, because okay, I have calls Monday through Thursday for my DIY platform, right? And this is the well, how quickly is it going to be removed? Y'all, you did not get into bad credit overnight. Please do not think that you're going to get out after one round of disputes. Typically, most clients are supposed to stay doing the process 6 to 9 months. I tell my clients when I was doing done for you service, plan to be with me for 12 months to 24 months, depending on what your goal is. You really want to see what the goal is. Is your client or is your goal, because you're doing this yourself, is my goal fixing my score to get funding? Is my goal fixing my score because I want a house or because I want a car? Because depending on where your goal is, that score and that body may be able to get there a little bit faster depending on what you're looking at, right? Ideally, the body of the report, when I say the body, the actual accounts that are on the reports are necessary to look the same across the board. However, I want to point out that what you need to do on a realistic basis is not plan for 30 days, okay? It is not going to be a week of hope. It's going to take months of discipline because credit repair is a 2-part process, okay? The first thing that you have is you have the letters working on your behalf. The next thing that you have is you have your activity. Are you paying on time? You don't have any lates, all of those things. Those are the 2 components that you have to leverage when you're going through credit repair on your own. All right. Next question. What's the biggest mistake people make in January? The biggest mistake that I have seen is that people rely on motivation instead of systems. And that's the same mistake in business. When motivation fails, but you don't have the systems in place, you are going to be in disaster. Just like discipline, right? You are now flexing a new muscle because you are learning something new and you're applying what you've learned to that new action. So I want you to take the time to allow yourself to go through the process of understanding what mistakes you've made, how you can correct them, and then what you're going to set up to ensure that you don't fall into that same trap. So it could be as simple as, okay, from now on, whenever I go to like Ulta Beauty or JC Penney's or whatever, I'm going to use a separate email. I'm not going to use my main email. I'm going to have a specific email that I use to register for all of these companies. That way, when they have a sale running, it's not coming to my main email. And now I'm emotionally triggered to spend, right? That is putting a system in place. Or you might say, okay, I'm going to make sure that on every Friday, I go over what I spent for the week and what my budget was. And then I'm going to mark out what were my emotional triggers. Did I have a hard day? And then look at my upcoming weeks. Do I have anything that could emotionally trigger my spending? A lot of people are not honest with themselves when it comes to actually going through the process of understanding why they spend. So how are they able to go ahead and curb that behavior? But when you're able to look at your account and you do it on a consistent basis, now of course they say the wealthy check their bank account every day. If you ain't there yet, hello. But you are at a place where you're like, hey, let me go ahead and check my stuff on a weekly basis, see how I did, what did I do with my budget? And then you can even look at it and say, okay, when I get to this particular number in my savings, this is what I'm going to do to reward myself, or this is how I'm going to purchase something that I've been desiring because I've committed and I've stuck to my budget. And now I've been able to attain this goal. A lot of times people don't understand a good 6 to 12 months can literally reset your financial trajectory in a real way. You just have to allow yourself to go through that. It depends on how dedicated you are. So because today is day 8, I want you to be very dedicated, okay, for the process. So I hope that those questions were great. If you guys have more questions, definitely go ahead and comment down below. Don't forget that we want to make sure that you're serious about changing your credit this year, and start with honesty. No excuses. Drop your questions below, rewatch the live, go ahead and take action today. And I want to go ahead and give you an invitation. If you are looking at your credit and you're like, hey, I feel overwhelmed, I want to do it myself because I don't want to pay anyone else to do it, but I feel like it's too much for me, go ahead and come on to the community, Beast Mode DIY Academy. We are here to support, to give you the aid that you need to go ahead and become a beast in these credit streets. Because if you don't know how to play this game to win, honey, you ain't gonna win at it. Okay. And we want to make sure you have all the tools. So, with that being said, I am your girl, Raquel May David, and I appreciate you sitting here through the live. And I hope this was fruitful and edifying to you. If you have any questions, drop it in the chat. Make sure you follow, share this with a friend. It's like, we gonna get our money together. Yeah, y'all will. Go ahead and keep watching this channel. All right. With that being said, y'all have a great night. Bye.